Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear. Pain doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't knock on your door politely. Pain kicks the door down, walks into your life, and changes everything. One day, everything feels normal. The next day, your plans collapse, your friends disappear, your confidence shakes, and suddenly you're standing in the middle of a storm you never asked for. And in that moment, most people break. Most people look for an escape. They distract themselves, they numb themselves, they blame the world. But the people who become extraordinary do something different. They stand in the storm. They look pain in the eye, and they say, "Teach me." Pain forces evolution. Comfort is dangerous. Comfort makes you slow. Comfort makes you lazy. Comfort makes you believe the world will stay the same forever. But pain wakes you up. Pain shakes your soul. Pain destroys the weak version of who you used to be. And sometimes that destruction is necessary, because the life you want, the success you dream about, the power you hope to reach cannot be carried by the old version of you. That version must die. Your excuses must die. Your fear must die. Your weakness must die. And pain is the fire that burns those things away. The moment everything breaks. There comes a moment in every person's life when everything falls apart. The moment when the job disappears. The moment when the relationship ends. The moment when people you trusted betray you. The moment when you realize life is not fair. That moment feels like the end. But what if it's not the end? What if it's the beginning? Because sometimes life has to destroy your comfort to reveal your purpose. Sometimes the universe has to shake you to wake you up. Sometimes everything must break so something stronger can be built. The hidden gift inside pain. Pain carries a gift, but most people never open it, because opening it requires courage. Inside pain, there are lessons. Lessons about yourself, lessons about people, lessons about the world. Pain teaches you who truly cares about you. Pain teaches you who disappears when things get difficult. Pain teaches you what really matters. And pain teaches you something even more important. It teaches you how strong you really are. Because most people have no idea how powerful they are until life forces them to find out. Pain creates discipline. You want discipline? Pain will teach you discipline. When you've been broke, you learn discipline with money. When you've been rejected, you learn discipline with effort. When you failed publicly, you learn discipline with preparation. Pain forces you to grow up. Pain forces you to stop playing games. Pain forces you to take your life seriously. And once pain teaches you discipline, you become unstoppable. Because disciplined people do what others refuse to do. They wake up early. They work when they're tired. They continue when motivation disappears. The warrior mindset. There are two types of people in this world: people who complain about pain and people who use pain. The complainers stay weak, but the warriors turn pain into fuel. Every insult becomes motivation. Every rejection becomes determination. Every failure becomes a lesson. Warriors understand something powerful. They understand that pain is energy, and energy can be transformed. You can turn pain into anger. You can turn pain into focus. You can turn pain into relentless drive. And when you do that, your pain becomes your greatest weapon. Your darkest moment. Everyone has a dark moment. A moment when the world feels heavy. A moment when giving up feels easier than continuing. A moment when hope feels far away. Maybe you are in that moment right now. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're doubting yourself. Maybe you're questioning whether you have what it takes. Let me tell you something powerful. Your darkest moment is not the end of your story. Your darkest moment is the moment your strength is being built.
Because the strongest people on this planet were once people who almost gave up. But they didn't. They stayed. They fought. They endured. Pain is a test. Life tests everyone. Not with easy questions, but with brutal ones. Questions like, how badly do you want your dream? How much pain are you willing to endure? How many times can you get back up? How many times can you fail and still try again? Because success is not about talent. Success is about endurance. Success is about refusing to quit when things get ugly. And pain is the test that separates the weak from the relentless. Your pain is preparing you. What you're going through right now might not make sense. You might not understand why life is this hard, but preparation rarely feels comfortable. Preparation feels painful. Preparation feels exhausting. Preparation feels unfair. But one day, you will look back at the struggles you survived and realize something powerful. Those struggles prepared you for the life you have now. They gave you strength others don't have. They gave you wisdom others never learned. They gave you resilience that cannot be broken. Pain builds a new identity. There is a version of you that exists in the future. A stronger version, a fearless version, a powerful version. But that version of you cannot exist without transformation. And transformation requires pain. The weak version of you must disappear. The lazy version of you must disappear. The fearful version of you must disappear. And every painful moment you survive brings you closer to that new identity. A version of you that refuses to quit. A version of you that refuses to stay small. A version of you that cannot be stopped. The moment pain becomes power. There is a moment when something shifts. A moment when pain stops hurting the same way. A moment when struggle stops feeling like suffering. Because suddenly you understand something powerful. Pain was never against you. Pain was working for you. Pain was sharpening you. Pain was preparing you. Pain was creating a stronger human being. And when that realization hits you, everything changes. Because now pain no longer scares you. Now pain becomes your ally. Now pain becomes your teacher. So when life hits you again, and it will, don't run, don't hide, stand your ground. Look pain in the eyes and say, I'm ready to learn. Because pain is not here to destroy you. Pain is here to transform you. Pain is here to make you stronger. Pain is here to create the person you were meant to become. And when you finally understand that, no struggle can stop you. No failure can break you. No obstacle can hold you down. Because you have learned the greatest lesson life can teach. Pain is your teacher.